Man, them.
So yeah, man, what's up, y'all? Pass it back car ride, man. So yeah, man, on this car ride, man, we're gonna be talking about how we've been dealing with this coronavirus, man. We thought we'd do something off topic for you guys. Disclaimer: if we don't get this video out to you guys, Chris has killed us in the car wreck.
Yeah, I'm the worst driver of us three. I'm the fastest driver.
Most reckless.
So yeah, man. Without further ado, man, it's gonna be a conversation. Just talking to you guys, man.
It's been such a wild experience, cause like it's like stuff happened in layers, in like sections at a time. Is weird, cause like when it first started off, it was our spring break and whatnot, and same thing with like my hometown's school district. They had spring break, and so whenever they have spring break, they have the Nederland Heritage Festival, and that was like a big thing. Yeah, so that was a big thing going on. And there's a lot of people that go to that thing. Like, I'm telling you, a lot. Like, it's almost surprising that they didn't cancel it, which they technically did. Like, I think it was on like I can't remember what day it was. On a Friday. I think it was on a Friday. They said they were canceling the parade that was scheduled for Saturday and canceling the rest of the festival. And everybody lost it because it was like just a big thing and going on and whatnot. But so they eventually like reinstated everything and you could go do it, but it was a weird situation because it was during that time that we're also hearing like all these colleges are thinking about, oh, we're going online, and I was like, man, that's crazy. Like, it was hard to like wrap my head around it. Like that's crazy that these colleges are shutting down and like all these other places, and like, oh, we're going online, and I'm like, is it that bad? Like, is there something I don't know? Because I just didn't know how bad it was at first.
Yeah, the first case was in A&M. If y'all, fun fact,
actually,
first case
that is false.
That was false?
That was false because everyone thought it was, but I remember A&M sending out an email saying, hey, they got tested, came back negative, everything's all right. But like right after the festival and everything, like that next week, I went down to the beach for just a night. Like, I was gonna go down that night and then stay that like day and then go back that evening. But it was a weird situation. So we went down on like I don't know, a Monday night. It was me and Ian. I brought Ian along, and we're meeting up with my sister and a few of her sorority sisters. And we'd go down there just to chill. And we had a good time that night, and we wake up the next morning, and like I said, I was planning on staying the whole day, go down the beach, have a good time. But Ian wakes up feeling like crap, and I was like, oh goodness. Like, I was asking him what's wrong, and he's like, oh, my throat hurts, I got a headache, and like also I'm like, man, this is not good. So I just take him, and we immediately head back home. He's calling doctor's office, scheduling an appointment, and he goes to get tested because this was back at the point in time where they didn't have a lot of like COVID tests. Like, you had to go through a bunch of stuff, and then you weren't even promised a test. Like, there had like probably 207, I remember seeing something like 270 COVID tests in the state of Texas a day. And there's millions of people in the state of Texas, millions upon millions, and they had 270 a day. For the entire state. So it was like you were not getting a test. So what they do is they test you for strep and flu to see if you came positive for that. It's like, okay, then you're good. You don't have it, you have this. And so Ian gets tested and everything, and he comes back negative for the flu, like type A and B, and he came back negative for the strep.
Oh, strep. Okay.
But he didn't tell me that. He told me that he has strep, and that's what they ended up saying. And I was like, okay, so he has strep. And then I started feeling bad, and so I go to the doctor's office in Jefferson County that's at like next to the courthouse and whatever, and I get tested for all that, and they start worrying everything because I come back negative for everything, like both flu and strep. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. And so I asked Ian, and Ian said that he did end up getting negative for strep, but they were saying that they might have messed something up, and that's for sure what it is. I was like, okay, that's a little suspicious, but all right.
That's
so
crazy. Yeah, 'cause you were sick.
So I was sick and I was feeling bad. I was like, man, this is crazy. But ultimately what they did is they said they think it's like like a sinus infection almost, and so they're gonna give me antibiotics. And the thing is, with antibiotics, that wouldn't help COVID. Like, that would do nothing to it. So if I started feeling better off those antibiotics, we know that's what it is. That it's not that. And those antibiotics really helped me out. So I didn't have it. I had sinus infection. But there was a second, like, where she was like, you know, it's probably not the coronavirus, but you got to treat it as it is. So I was told to quarantine for at least 2 days to make sure the antibiotics wasn't working. If I still wasn't better, it was the regular 14 days. But that was a crazy thing that happened to me. And then after that, it was just a bunch of hoopla.
Yeah. Chris, how you been dealing with this thing, man? This thing's been crazy.
Well, out of the three of us, I was probably the main one that was this not serious. I was probably the main one. Yeah, that was probably thinking that. I was back and forth,
man. I was back and forth. I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't know what to believe with the freaking news.
Yeah, but because I was just man, it's probably some scam to get rid of people on the plane or whatever. And I was just we got so many professionals in America and the U.S., man. I was I know we can beat this or whatever. So I'm just thinking, but now that I see stuff is starting to shut down, and once A&M shut down and stores started closing and Walmart and Target were the only place I could go, I was okay. And now we need to get a real handle on this. That's when I became kind of real suspicious about it. I started taking my asthma medicine again because they were saying people with asthma had it, and I was man, I got asthma, so I don't want to be playing like that. And then you start seeing physically people really start wearing the mask everywhere you go, and you just man, this is real. It's not a movie, not an epidemic movie, whatever. It's a crisis, real life crisis. So that's kind of when I started taking it a lot seriously, man. And my dad is a post office worker, so they don't get off. And he delivers mail every single day, going to hundreds of houses and whatnot. So that's when I was just making sure he's good. So I was just kind of we gotta be a little safer and a little more cautious than what I was being. Because I was just I'm gonna go out and play basketball, football, whatever with my friends and just have it. But man, it's a lot serious than what initially I had thought. So
yeah. Quick thing for you guys. We're around campus right now. Show us some of campus, Jacob. Our beautiful A&M campus.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. There is no one around.
Gotta love it, man.
These are dorms to our rights, y'all. So thousands of kids live to our rights. I don't know, 10, 20, 1,000. Mm-hmm. And there's not a person outside. There's not a squirrel outside.
We're driving through this right now, without this virus, we couldn't be able to drive through this.
Oh no. We found somebody.
No way.
You are featured on the Pass It By podcast.
Howdy, bud.
Congratulations. And I don't know what to believe, man. I was at first I was man, this ain't serious. And then, I read some on Joe Rogan podcast or on the news, and it's just man, this thing is real serious. And then it just flips back and forth.
Yeah.
And then you see stuff people closing down, and you're really? Wow. It's it started it went from 50 people gathering to 10 people gathering, and the clubs and everything just shut down completely. And then
restaurants.
Campus, yes, everything, man. And I was just man, are we really in this thing? Legit. Whether we think it's serious or not. And I was man, I can't believe this is crazy. For especially us millennials, the first thing we've ever experienced. This. So we'll be telling our kids about this for a while.
Yeah. My grandpa, 88 years old, never seen anything like this. He said this is one of the craziest things he's ever seen. And that man has gone through world wars, crazy stuff going on. It's just, it's a different breed. I mean, I'm not trying to compare it to a world war, but it's just something different, that it's something weird that no one's ever seen before. And it's definitely just, it's been a weird time. And the implications that come from it, even just economic wise, there was a point in time where barrels of oil were negative $37. That's ridiculous. That's my dad was sent to a panic from that, because especially Southeast Texas, even Texas in general, is an oil state. Yeah. And when you're talking about possibly in the near future having to shut down some of that production, midstream, upstream, whatever, Like, that's getting really bad. Like, that would hurt this economy, like, tremendously. It's insane. Exactly. So you can't blame Governor Abbott for opening stuff back up and everything. It was almost necessary. Like, you had to.
Yeah.
Like, or else we'd be going into a depression, some kind of stuff. It's crazy when you see stuff like that, and it's almost scary. Like that, and like when Trump put out like $2 trillion for like aid and everything, it was necessary. But it's like mortgaging our futures.
Yeah.
Almost like it's crazy. Just like how in such a short time we could take such a hit like that. It's wild.
It's like,
it really is.
How long has it been? Like a month and a half, 2 months?
Let's call it 2 months.
Been 2 months.
Let's call it 2 months. It's been interesting. I plan on staying home for less than a week for spring break, and I ended up staying home for like a month and a half. So.
Yeah, man. And then like once you realize like that the COVID-19 is only like, you know, people need to be quarantining is the older people or people with, you know, respiratory issues, and that the people, especially us, are recovering from it really fast if we do happen to get it. So it's just like, you do that, it's just like, man, it really ain't that serious as, you know, the social distancing and everything is. You know, I think that older people and the respiratory people are people that should be wearing masks and, you know, social distancing, but everybody else I think is good, man. I don't think we should have been shut down half the country for this, man, but you just never know. So maybe some stuff more to it.
One of those things where you'd rather be safe than sorry.
Yeah. Social distancing thing, man, because like it's just after a while, man, you're just like, man, I gotta stay inside the entire time. Like, I can only go out really just to drive around, or maybe go to Walmart, or maybe go to get something to eat, maybe. But it's just like everything else is just like cut off completely, and it gets old for after a while. Just to be honest, just to be real.
That's one of the reasons why I came back here to College Station, is just being at home. It's like it felt like Groundhog's Day, where you were just living the same day over and over and over, and you like get trapped in your own mind. It's like, this is weird. Like, I need to change the scenery. I need something. And it's been interesting to see how people have adapted to it, like whether like taking up new hobbies or binge watching Netflix or whatever. Like, I mean, how I would like get out and do something is like me and my sister would go walk our dogs every day. Just try to find some time to get outside, get some fresh air, get out of the house. It's good for us and our dogs, kind of thing. And it's crazy because before all this happened, like, I'll see people walking around my neighborhood back home occasionally, but like there was so many people just out and about in that neighborhood.
Same day
just
here. Getting
outside, just to get out of the house, kind of thing. Because I mean, what else is there to do? You can't go sit down in a restaurant. You can't go see a movie. You just gotta find ways to entertain yourself, keep your mind occupied outside of your schoolwork or whatever else is going on in your life.
Exactly. Like, one of the biggest things too that like really like, and this really shocked me too, because like this helps with like building up your immune system to beat the coronavirus. Like when they shut down the gyms, I was like,
oh, that's when I was like, dang, this bad.
I was like, the thing is about the gyms is that's one of the best places to spread that stuff around. So it's like you got to close it almost, because I mean everybody's touching the same things.
Like, especially having classes now, especially that we're done with classes. Because now that we're done with classes, like, it was like, what do I do with my day? Like, because we don't know, we can't go work out. You know, if you go to a field, the cops might show up and say, you know what, this may not be the safest place to do this. Can you do this inside or whatever? And then it's just like, you know, there's really nothing for us to do unless you can do it on your computer or TV or your phone. And it's just like, man, that gets boring seeing the same four walls. Even in our apartment, we got, thankfully we have other people to go around and see.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, I want to go see my friends, my parents, and hang out and stuff. But
exactly, man. Like, I really, like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. Like, in this last 2 or 3 weeks, man, just like with school and everything, like, man, like, I just got tired of just looking at the paper, just studying, going over and over again over the paper, man. It just got repetitive. I was like, man, god dang, can I just get these classes over with or something? You know, it'd be different if, like, I could go out and, like, we go to classes or whatnot, because and then learn stuff. Because, like, learning online is like kind of being self-taught. To a degree. Because, like, the teacher don't put a lecture up, but the lecture sometimes be tripping. So you never know if that's going to work or not. And it's just all over the place. And then it's a buffer in between time answering emails and everything.
Zoom meetings can go longer than class time will go sometimes, man.
Exactly, man. And like sometimes, what if you have a bad connection? You never know. Like,
you never know
what could go wrong. So it's just like, man, that was a big adjustment. Even though like it was easier to a degree, it made things
It did make things easier,
but it made things a hell of a lot, more complicated too, in a different way too.
And I felt bad for kids that were like international students, because they don't know America like the rest of us do, and some of them have literally no place to go except their dorm room or their apartment.
That was tough.
So like people like that, man, like they don't got parents that can drop food off in an hour, 2 hours. They can't go drive home like that. So I just feel like, man, like college is all they know here in America. So I mean, they can't go home, they can't leave their country. So I mean, it was tough, but I feel like at A&M, a lot of people got really good characteristics of helping people, and you need food, I got you. You need some sugar, I got you. So I feel like just being in that environment is really good for A&M. But otherwise, man, it was tough on everybody. And it's crazy because like some people are having babies in this time and they can't find the formula or whatever that they need, or they can't go to get toys for their kids like they would on a regular day. But I just feel like once all this is done, man, people are just going to be out so much, not only just walking, exercising. People are going to be washing their hands a lot more. People are going to be being cautious of stuff they touch, being so close to people and doing all that. So, I don't know, man. This is going to be a big adjustment once we get back. But I just feel like we first have to get through it in order to get back.
So, yeah, man. Thanks for watching, man. Let us know in the comments if y'all enjoy these car rides. We'll keep doing them. Let us know what you guys want us to talk about next, man. Our car rides are just going to be like real life. We'll probably lay off the sports, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of have like a little release and talk about real stuff and real life stuff we're going through. I think that does it for this car ride, man. Like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram.
Hell yeah, check us out.
Podcast.
Check us
out. Love to hear y'all's feedback.
Exactly, man.
Yes, sir.
We'll see y'all, man. Y'all have a good day. I'm Miles.
I'm Jacob.
My name is CP Liddy.
We'll see y'all next time.
All right, man. Y'all go.